Hey YouTube. So I wasn't planning on putting together content on this restoration rebuild of one of my bikes, but I did photo document the entire process, and after completing it I thought it would actually be great to put something out. So here is a 15-minute compilation of the rebuild restoration of my 2006 Honda CRF450R. Hope you enjoy. So after I picked the bike up on Christmas Eve, I really hadn't touched it all through the holiday and into the new year. So here we are, it's January 13th of the following year. This is really where I get into the disassembly and beginning of the restoration. So you'll see just into that first day of stripping the bike apart, I pretty much got the whole thing disassembled and all the parts neatly laid out on the garage floor, just so that everything could be accounted for and not lost. So this certainly wasn't the dirtiest motor that I've come across, but it certainly had its fair share of dirt and mud caked onto it. But more significantly, this was just covered and caked with grease and grime. So really, to fight through that, I just went through multiple cans of engine degreaser, brake cleaner, various wire brushes and wire wheels, Scotch-Brite pads, and tons and tons of elbow grease. But we eventually got this engine looking clean again and practically like new. So definitely happy with the results. Yeah, so the next real big thing on the bike that needed to be cleaned up is the frame here. I end up showing that a little bit later in the video, so I'll skip over it here for now. The forks had leaky seals, so those did get replaced and rebuilt. I did that kind of off screen. I didn't take any pictures of that. Here are the valve cover and side covers. My plan was to just clean up. I ended up scuffing them, and they ended up getting resprayed and refinished with like a wrinkle finish. I think they look pretty good. I ended up reinstalling all this on the bike. However, one side cover I did end up removing and later replacing with a Boyesen side cover. But aside from that, very happy with how some of this accessory stuff came out. Yeah, so I didn't have to spend too much time here with these radiators. They were largely undamaged, just a couple of bent fins here and there. My guess is that this bike only had seen some moderate trail riding in its lifetime here in the Northeast. So the radiators I was able to bring back to life, and I just paired them up with some new coolant hoses and clamps. So here I am revisiting the frame again. I had it mostly stripped down. There was only a couple small peripheral things left on the frame, like the harness and a few other little odds and ends. So I got the frame fully stripped, got it into a basin, and started cleaning it with engine degreaser, brake cleaner, much like everything else, and really started scrubbing this thing until I got it looking mostly clean, as you see here. Really, the finishing step was just to hit it with Scotch-Brite to give it that brushed aluminum look. I've seen guys take these bikes, up to the buffing wheel and polishing the aluminum, but that was not the look that I was going for with this bike. But yeah, very happy with how the frame came out, and I was just getting this thing prepped on a dolly here for reinstalling of the motor, which you'll see here. So the next system that I had to address here was the carburetor. I wasn't too worried, even though this thing looks pretty dirty and grimy. I obviously had gotten the bike running that first day that I got it home, so I knew this thing definitely could be rebuilt. So brought it inside, started giving it the same level of elbow grease, brushing, cleaning in the sink, and really just starting to get detailed into the disassembly, cleaning up all the small parts. And you'll see the main body cleaned up pretty well, and then I was getting into the float bowl. You'll see it was pretty dirty here, but yeah, no major surprises, and I was able to get this thing cleaned up pretty well. I had a carb rebuild kit on order, and I pretty much was able to reuse the main carb body and just replace some of the small components with the rebuild kit. This thing does have a voicing kit on it, so I was pretty pleased to see that. And yeah, so you'll see here the carb coming together. But yeah, very happy with it. And later when I went to start the bike for the first time, I was able to kick it 2 or 3 times, and with a little bit of fine tuning, get the bike to start up. So yeah, here it is installed. Not much really to say, but yeah, very clean. With everything going on in this rebuild, I didn't think to photo document some of the next steps as I was going along, but I got the rear shock rebuilt and the airbox here cleaned with a new air filter. So those are at this point already installed on the bike. You'll see I started assembling some of the front end, but really the next thing is getting into the plastics here. So you know, while these look dirty, I really was trying to go for a factory new finish on the restoration here. And so what worried me was all these deep scratches and the dirt stains in them. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get those fully restored, but you'll see here I was able to really bring some life back into these plastics. They look practically brand new. So overall, very pleased with the finish of the plastics. And again, yeah, this bike looks like, you know, some brand new bikes today. So very happy. So I had initially just planned to clean up and paint the stock OEM magnesium side covers for the engine. But with how well this restoration was coming out, I thought I should really treat the bike to a better looking side cover. So I ended up buying the Boyson Factory Racing side cover you see here, and I think it gave it a nice touch. At this point, I was very eager to try to start the bike. The only thing holding me up here was not having an exhaust installed. You'll see here I have some pretty significant damage to the head pipe, but I had seen some results online of individuals that had used hydronic pressure, water inside the pipe with plugs, putting it in the freezer and actually allowing the ice to expand and reopen up the dent on the pipe. So I gave it a shot. Here are the results. You know, lo and behold, it actually popped out, you know, probably 90% of that dent. As far as I'm concerned, that's nothing that's going to obscure any airflow or provide any back pressure issues to the bike. So I was very happy with that, and you'll see later, I actually took the pipe and wrapped it with exhaust wrap, and it came out phenomenal. So yeah, so here's that head pipe again from earlier, the one that had the dent in it. I got it wrapped in heat wrap. I restored the heat shield, and here it is paired up with a DRD tailpipe. So overall, the exhaust system came out great, and very shortly you'll hear a clip of the bike running again for the first time. So here we are, it's February 3rd. This is like 2 or 3 weeks after we started the disassembly on this, but yeah, at this point we're like 99% done with the rebuild restoration. You'll see the only thing not installed here is the chain. I didn't have the chain in yet, but yeah, very pleased with this restoration. You'll see here, I actually moved it in the house. I was just admiring it. You know, being able to look at this while I was watching TV on the couch. But yeah, this thing looks like a brand new bike that you'd see on the Honda showroom floor today. So yeah, if you guys like content like this, maybe you want to see more of it, that is something I could put out in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this content and want to see more content like this on my other builds, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe I will put more content like this together in the future. Thanks.